back to the Offbeat Sports Podcast, presented by Drink Chew, and joined by Scituate native and former University of Kentucky men's basketball player Sam Malone. Sam was a member of the 2011-2012 Kentucky National Championship team and played alongside some of the NBA's brightest stars today, such as Anthony Davis, Julius Randle, Devin Booker, and Karl Anthony Towns during his 4 years at Kentucky. Following his playing career, Sam formed his own company and is the CEO of Guru Club, an organization that offers rewards to customers in exchange for tagging businesses in their Instagram stories. Thanks for joining us today, Sam. We're excited to have you.
Thanks for having me on. Pumped to be here.
All right. So, I've heard you've been pretty busy lately. Have a baby on the way, how are you? You excited?
Yeah.
Nervous?
No, I'm very excited. It could be like any second now. So sometime the due date's June 9th. So sometime in the next 9 days.
Yeah, hopefully we can get through this interview.
Yeah, I know. So I've been super busy, just kind of waiting on that moment to happen. But happy to be on with you guys and pumped to talk.
That's awesome. All right, so we're gonna get into it now. So what is your favorite memory of your team being in that national championship game?
I think the favorite memory was the fans for sure. When we landed back at Lexington Bluegrass Airport, the street, it's probably like 10 miles from campus, and the streets were lined with literally millions of people. And it was pretty amazing because, people in Kentucky, they live, breathe, and die basketball. And so to win the first championship in, I think, 15 years was huge. So it was awesome.
Yeah, so like, what was the atmosphere for for that game when you were like in that game? What was the atmosphere around like that whole?
Well,
game?
it was down in New Orleans in the Superdome, and I remember warming up and just looking like you can't even see the last person in the stands. It's that big, 100,000 people there. Jim Nantz calling the game, celebrities all around the sidelines, and it was amazing. And then once the game started. It was like and the thing with March Madness is like every single possession, the home fan, the crowd that's on your side, like you can feel the breath going in and out of how nervous people are. But Anthony Davis just dominated that game completely, and then after that, the celebrations that we had was awesome, and then seeing guys declare for the draft as well was pretty cool.
It's kind of crazy you could talk about Anthony Davis like, oh yeah, I played with that man.
Yeah, AD was a goofball. I mean, I was a freshman with him, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, Kyle Wiltshire, all those guys, and it's just funny to see, like, at the beginning of the year we were goofing off, go out pretty much every night, go out and get pizza and stuff, and then by the end of the year, he's on the same Team USA with Kobe, LeBron, all those guys. So it was amazing to see like how much he quickly grew up in that year, and it was cool.
So what drew you to walk on at Kentucky? It's one of those blue blood schools, always at the top of the rankings every year, versus being a scholarship athlete at, say, like a smaller school, Division II, Division III.
Yeah, my goal was to always play Division I basketball, and I had been going to Coach Cal's camps for basically like fifth grade up until I was probably 16 years old, and when he was at Memphis at the time, and absolutely loved him, and had a great freshman year, great sophomore year. We led our team to the state championship my sophomore year, won at the Garden. And then went to Tilton School in New Hampshire and got to play with guys like George Niang, Alex Oriaki, who won a national championship at UConn, Jamal Combs, Gerard Coleman, who went to Gonzaga. Being able to play with those guys are unbelievable. But I had 3 knee surgeries in between my sophomore and my junior year. And so all the kind of the lower mid-major offers or looks that I was getting, I didn't really have anymore. And so Coach Cal found out about it, and he was like, hey, come on here. You can recover. You can get your knees straight. I know you're a great person. Would fit in great here. And so I jumped at the chance with it.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, like, what was it like to play for Calipari? Like, how do you like run his practices, treat his players? How was that all like that whole thing?
He's very he's very passionate, and he's very he kind of like very emotional as far as like getting guys hyped up, and always had people coming in and speaking to us, and so he's a great motivator, and is always kind of always very confident, and pumps the team up. And he's an underrated X and O's guys. Everyone knows about him for his recruiting, but especially my junior year, you can see we won with a team that maybe shouldn't have even made it to the finals that year. And yeah, he's just an all around great guy, great person, and a fierce competitor. I mean, he loves to win. He thinks about basketball 24 hours a day, and is really dedicated to his team, and is always having us do stuff in the community as well. The whole time I was there, we'd be going to different areas of town, and during Christmas time, we'd be delivering gifts to everyone, and always made sure we were super involved with the community as well and gave back.
That's awesome. Do you have a favorite game that you have been a part of during your years at Kentucky? Like, was there one game that just stood out from all the rest as being like your favorite?
Yeah, one game that was really like one of the most memorable, like that I can like really like close my eyes and feel like I'm there, was the game we actually lost to Indiana when we were undefeated. In Indiana, guy hit a buzzer beater shot over Darius Miller, and everyone stormed the court. And like the whole, like I've never been in an arena like that where it's such a small gym and the place is literally shaking. They wanted to beat us so bad, and they hit that buzzer beater, and then ESPN made a commercial out of it, like the next 2 years. And so the wins were great, but I also remember that game. And then I think the two games where Aaron Harrison hit his game-winning shots my junior year. That was an awesome run because no one really, we were a 10 seed, ended up beating Wichita State, ended up beating, I can't even think right now, but two other buzzer beater games. And so that was definitely one of the most memorable runs. And then my senior night as well, where we were undefeated at the time, 32-0. I got to start alongside Carl Towns, and it was just an amazing night.
So I have many fond memories of participating in your youth basketball camp in the summer of 2014. So like, here's a photo that I took
Wow.
with me back a little while ago. So I was wondering, like, what made you want to give back to the community using basketball to change lives?
Really, it's the way Coach Cal is. His passion for the game and his passion giving back is infectious. And when you're at Kentucky, you kind of realize that you have a platform, and that there's a lot of opportunity for you to give back to the younger generation, and that's pretty cool. I didn't realize, I didn't put that together, but that's awesome. And it's pretty amazing to see.
So I was reading a story about a game you guys had against Arkansas, where the fan section got your phone number. So how did that all go down, and how'd that happen?
So somebody in the Arkansas fan section DM'd, like saw I was interacting. I think I used Twitter a lot at the time, and I was interacting with my sister at one point, and they DM'd my sister and said, "Hey, I'm friends with Sam. What's his number? I lost his number." My sister's like a freshman or sophomore in high school at the time, so she just gave out my number. And then I get a text. I start getting texts the night before the game that says, "I want to buy your bicycle. I want to buy your bicycle." I got like 4 texts that say, "I want to buy your bicycle." And I'm like, what the hell? And next day I got another text that says, "Hey, this is Willie's girlfriend, or not girlfriend, one of his good friends that he knew at the time. And can I have Willie's number?" And like mentioned the girl's name, must have seen Willie interacting with that person on social media. I gave out Willie's number, and then Willie Cauley Stein. And then I realized right before the game that someone had posted like a bike on Craigslist in California and was direct like selling it through my name, and everyone was blowing up my phone. And then they started calling Willie, and Willie had like hundreds of voicemails. And then we go out on the court, and they're like passing around a flyer in the student section that has both of our names and numbers on it. And so Willie had to change his number. I was getting voicemails like for the next 3 weeks. It was crazy.
So bad. Honestly, kind of smart though. I mean,
whoever did that needs to be a private investigator.
If I'm running a fan section, that's pretty. I mean, that's the way to go. I mean, I don't know why I never thought of that for high school games.
Pretty high level interaction there.
Oh, I know. Little investigating into that. Oh, that's good. So you guys had that 38-0 start in the 14-15 season. Like what was the atmosphere around that, and like how did you guys like just kind of keep it going without kind of letting up?
I mean, we were so talented. We had Devin Booker coming off the bench. Like just Carl was dominating, and I mean, we just had a team that was just so much more dominant than any other team. Just size, speed, and just everyone kind of clicked together, and then we had the kind of that fateful game in the Final Four against Wisconsin, where kind of a BS shot clock violation down the stretch. It was just bad karma going on, and it was shocking the way it ended. But during that ride, I mean, it was like we were like the Beatles. Everyone like it was just a buzz around the team at all times, and so that was pretty amazing.
So I heard that you got to meet Drake at the Blue versus White game one year. Like, how cool of an experience was that to be able to meet a celebrity like of the status that Drake is at?
So Drake came back to our locker room, had the full warm-up suit on, and you could just tell he was so nervous to warm up. Like, really, really nice guy. Almost like he was like over nice. Like he was kind of like trying to like he was just super nervous about warming up in front of our crowd is 23,000 UK, and so warming up in front of that many people. And then I was actually right in line with him, in line in front of him. And then there's that video that always goes around of him shooting like a complete air ball. So I went up for a layup. He was right behind me. I look behind me, and he just completely misses it. And everyone's laughing like this. But he was a man. I mean, I got to meet him probably 3 or 4 times, and was always super cool. Always down to take pictures and stuff. So it was awesome.
It's kind of crazy. I mean, he performs in front of it's probably like way more than that.
Yeah.
And then he gets to Kentucky, and it's like, okay, all right.
Yeah, he was like, is it too late for me to turn around and go back? Like that, you could just kind of tell in his head.
So if you want, I mean, here, if you want to kind of plug your company, if you want to talk a little about your company, tell us and our viewers like a little about it, and so they can go check it out.
Yeah, sure. I'll do a little segue into it. So after I graduated, kind of was seeing the endorsement deals throughout the years that my teammates were getting, and kind of like fell in love with digital marketing and marketing, kind of where it was going. And ended up actually after my senior year selling these T-shirts that said "Won every game I played in," and they kind of went viral. Barstool picked it up, Yahoo.com, Sporting News, pretty much every single sporting site. We ended up selling like $20,000 worth in the first week or two, and then I ended up working for Nerlens Noel when he was with the Sixers. So I ended up living with Nerlens for a while and did that for a year, was basically his manager, his assistant, helped him with some of the endorsement deals, and moved back to Boston and I really still love marketing, wanted to get in technology. And so we said, how do we kind of scale these influencer deals that are going on, celebrity deals, so that the everyday person can benefit from participating with their favorite brand? So we launched Guru Club last year, and started a couple of years earlier, but officially launched it last year. And now we're partnered with 212 brands. We're going to start to get into ticketing for concerts, hopefully restaurants soon, pretty much any delivery systems. So pretty much anything any business to consumer company. And basically how it works is you tag a business in your Instagram story, you go to our website, you sign up real quick, you hit one button, and you get a coupon sent to you after the story expires. So for any business, for them to be able to advertise with their own customers, spreading that word of mouth marketing is extremely effective for them. So we're excited about where we're going, and it's it's really fun to kind of do something you love.
That's awesome. Yeah, good for you, man. I know. I mean, starting up stuff in the last year or so hasn't been easy. So I mean, that's good. I mean, it's good that you're doing well.
Appreciate it.
Sounds like you got a nice little plan. So I mean, and you got a nice base so far. So I hope you continue to grow.
Appreciate that. Thanks a lot. Yeah, definitely always love coming on podcasts and talking about it. And also think it's very cool what you guys are doing, and definitely keep it up.
Yeah, thank you. So that's about all we got tonight. So thank you to Sam Malone for taking the time to do this interview with us. I know you got a busy schedule, so and good luck with the baby on the way.
Good luck to you all too. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no
Thanks
problem.
for coming on, Sam.
Yeah.